the Kultcha.
Podcast.
The Kultcha.
Podcast.
You know, it's still
Wake
a drop.
your punk ass up. Wake up.
You know what I mean? It's still a drop. It's still a drop. It's still a drop. You don't have to say podcast.
Huh?
You don't have to say podcast.
I want to say podcast because we got a series.
Being funny.
I know that. No doubt. It'll be funny.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, what up? It's your boy Alley Cat,
I'm the infamous twin
and you are now watching the Kultcha.
podcast. Like that pause, right?
Got you this time. So this is what we do, how we do.
Notification.
The topic today is borderline personality disorder.
That's right.
It affects 1.6 Americans. And let me check and make sure I said this right. Let me pull it up to have it correct for y'all.
We're slow on the information.
So now, borderline personality disorder, acronym BPD, is a mental illness that affects about 1.6% of adults in the United States alone.
That's it. Check it out in that DSM, because it's definitely in that DSM. And when we talk about disorders, there's 10 mental disorders in the DSM, one of them being borderline personality disorder. But before we get in and rev that, hit that notification bell. That's subscribe. It's right underneath us. It's on Alley's side. Look at it. It's right underneath.
And then make sure you hit the personal bell too.
So
YouTube.
So why we deal with personality disorder? Let's define that in layman's terms. It's the borderline of personality. Like you go from 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, borderline personality disorder, a lot of people would think that everybody have that. But they don't. Let me give you an example of what borderline personality disorder is.
Give it to them.
You got a date, she late, she come late, you start tripping. What you late? This relationship is over. I can't take this. Now, this is her first time.
The first time?
The first
God
time.
Damn.
These are some of the symptoms or the signs you will see in a person that will have borderline personality disorder. Please don't get this confused
BPD.
with narcissist or narcissism or any other disorders.
Or sociopaths.
Or sociopath. We talking about borderline. It's really in that borderline. That person's in that line right there. Do you understand? And it's about everything. And when you deal with borderline personality disorder, they're also afraid to be by themselves as well. They get lonely quick. All right? They have a disorder in the personality.
So they can't be alone.
The person is not the same every day. So if you know any females out there who switch up from green hair to black hair often,
It's the highs and lows.
It's the highs and the lows. Always like they pro-black one day, and then the next day you say, oh, I'm just a nigga, I got my pants down. They might be showing some symptoms of borderline personality disorder. So I know people out there gonna say, well, damn, everybody got it. I got it too. It's not true. All right, so when we look,
you know, you got to give them the symptoms too.
I mean, that's
fear
all about
of abandonment.
Yeah, fear abandonment. What's some of the symptoms?
Wow.
Read it to them.
I have to read some. One
so
of
we
them
be
is
exact.
fear of abandonment, right? People with PBD tend to have a strong fear of being left alone or abandoned.
That's what I reached.
Regardless of whether such abandonment is real or imagined, the individual may go extreme measures to avoid possible separation or rejection.
Now let's break that down for the people who can't understand what he just said. In a relationship, if you feel alone, meaning like a borderline personality person try to show a sense of like entrapment in a relationship. So they'd be like, listen, why you leaving me? All these bills I paid, all this money I dished out, all this stuff I bought you, that's the reason why you want to leave me? Look at all the stuff I do. You just going to get up and go? That's part of having a borderline personality disorder. Now, a lot of the professionals, and even in the DSM, a lot of them, when you talk to them, they don't really want to classify these things as symptoms. They do, but then they kind of don't, because it is very hard to distinguish between narcissism and borderline personality disorder. But they look at it, narcissism more of a gradually thing taught by environment. Borderline personality disorder is more of a range of going from calm to extreme, or extreme back to calm. That's what it is. You understand?
Well, shit, I might have that, because sometimes I be feeling like, listen.
If
sometimes I be like, listen, it's either you love me or hate me.
If you go
I don't want no in between. Because they tell you in religion, that's a borderline. They say you can't, it's either you're hot or you're cold. It ain't no in between.
Borderline personality disorder is this. If you wake up and get a phone call and the person is angry at you, you're mad, you're flaming in the day, and then somebody else call you and you back happy. Those are signs of borderline personality
I
disorder.
thought that shit might be schizophrenia.
Because the person can easily control your personality. They can shape your day
And tap your
easily.
buttons.
And tap your buttons and get you to that extreme, back to that low, back to that happy, back to that sad. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times, people out there, you know who I'm talking about in the universe, they definitely think borderline personality disorder only exists with women. Because women go through periods, women go through certain things in life, and their mood is up and down. So a lot of men out there think they don't have it, but they do. Do you understand? Because a lot of them don't agree that they have it, so they don't come in for the help. They don't want to recognize the symptoms. Borderline personality disorder, you don't hear it a lot, is because it's mainly talked only with women. Women come in to get the help. So dealing with
but anything when it comes to health, women usually are the ones that deal with their health faster than a man would.
They deal with the health faster than the man, but the man like to blame the woman for her up and down moods because of her health. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, I know it's that time of the month, so she aggy, she mad, she angry, that gotta be the reason. No, that's not the reason. The reason may be because you did something stupid. You did something wrong.
But now, listen.
Uh-huh.
I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But if you're using the period, which most men would say they period gives them a mood swing. And most women do say that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting my period, so I don't.
Yes.
So, I mean, and I'm not bashing no woman. I love everything about a woman, especially a black woman.
Yes.
So.
I mean, the reason why we're talking about this today, because as, you know, us as podcasts running this, we should journey into these conversations more. Do you understand what I'm saying? And recognize for what it is. The person might have some mental issues or might have some disorders. So this is why we venture into these topics now, so we can recognize and truly have empathy for the people with borderline personality disorder, and we can help each other in this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So many disorders to discuss. So borderline disorder, it's one of so many that are in our community.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of mental health issues. I don't even think I know they do. Yeah. So if you don't have insurance and you get Medicaid or you get anything, no, I'm being serious, because they have it, but they don't put it out there for you. So you have to call your insurer and see who takes it, because they have psychotherapists that can help you.
No, definitely, and that's what we want to do.
People need to get this help, and I notice in the black community, we don't accept or say we have a problem.
That's the issue.
We come out and be like, nah, I don't need to see no counselor. What the fuck I need to see the counselor for? Listen.
The problem is because I ain't got a job. The problem is I'm not making enough money. And those ain't the problems.
Those ain't the problems. Because if you can get Medicaid, once again, if you can get Medicaid, and I know they have guidelines. I know New York State guidelines. You can't make over $850 a month to get Medicaid.
Right.
But you can get it, and you need to have an address.
Definitely.
A New York State address, and that's most states in the United States of America. Most free health care that they offer you, they do, or they should. I know New York State has it. So just look into these things, because a lot of black folks, and I'm telling you, I can only speak for my people, they say, no, I don't have no issue, and they really do.
And exactly, and we just got finished talking about the health care. We just got finished talking about in a relationship with the opposite sex. That also happens in the same sex friendship, guys and guys, and girls as well. Or if you is a guy with
I don't think that's natural.
No, I'm talking about borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, but
so if you have a female friend, also she would try to entrap you if she have, these symptoms or have borderline personality disorder.
I thought you was talking about what? People on the same sex relationship.
No.
Oh, okay.
We just was talking about being in a relationship. So your girlfriend may be coming late for dinner. Sometimes she may have a period and you think she's suffering from borderline personality disorder, which you really don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying also happens in friendships as well. So you can have a female friend and sometimes, a female friend, or if it's another male friend, the male friend will make you feel obligated to always call them and feel like if you don't call them, all hell breaks loose. It's a huge problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is some of the issues that we deal with in our community today.
But you have some friends too that, now with this whole texting era, that you can misconstrue something through a text. So some people do rather to keep it old school and have a conversation. Let's clarify these things, because some people are like, yeah, Mike, I called him and he didn't call me back, and then But you know, you got to clarify. You know,
that's a good point because
that's not.
it probably enhances it.
Yeah,
It
but
probably
let's not speak upon a topic and people don't really understand or not very informed. We want to inform you with it. So, you know, some people get a text, and within a text message, the text doesn't. How would you say the text sound crazy? In so many words, you'd be like, oh, he talking to me crazy.
I mean, because when you read a text, you try to visualize that person's voice talking to you when you read.
So sometimes it is best to have a communication and speak.
No.
Now, do you need to speak all the time? No. Sometimes you don't need to speak. Sometimes you need a rest. You need a break.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody that, you know, they got to speak to you all the time, and then you don't pick up or you don't get in touch with them, and they have a serious attitude, that's a problem.
That's the thing. So if a person call you 3 or 4 times, and you finally pick up, right? And that person say, I've been calling you. That person could have been in the shower. That person could have been helping out his mother. That person could have been in the bathroom. That person could have been took the garbage out. Anything like that. You know, call 4 or 5 times within 3 minutes.
Well, hold on.
And now you feel like that person's neglecting you.
That's a good debate because you know why? I've seen husband and wives do that, and then I've seen, you know, coming where we've come from. and so a bunch of cultural differences, but coming from being in the hood, you know, when a person calls you 4 or 5 times, usually it was or it is important. And they say, yo, what's going on? Because when somebody's out in the street, especially being a black man out on the street, with all this police brutality and these things, you know, when you call your lady, you say, listen, what was you doing? I called. Now, when they say, okay, what's up? I was in the shower, I apologize, what's going on? And they say something stupid, that might cause an argument.
But you don't.
No, I'm talking about the person that picked up and say, hey, I was in the shower, and then they be like, well, I was just calling you to I'm around the block or something stupid that don't make sense.
But if you pick up the phone and the first thing they say is, I was calling you, where was you at? That's a problem. You understand? Instead of saying you all right, it's like you get
because I remember one time having a conversation with you, and you was like, you know, we was having an informative conversation, not saying this, and you was like, who said it? Where you get your information from?
Yeah.
So, you know, when we get these information on these things, we always, and I state this every episode, I state this. When you get your information, just don't take what I say for face value. Go and look and research it for yourself.
Definitely.
So now, who says this information and gave it?
Because at some point, cell phones didn't exist like that. You had to wait till a person come home to call them to see if they was okay. It almost enhances borderline personality disorder with the cell phones and the frequent text messages and being online, whether you're doing WhatsApp or whatever social media platform you're on, Facebook, it enhances the disorder more than regress it. So this is the issue, you understand? So since that person got access to all that, when I want to get to you, I should be able to get to you. So this is the issue. Now, if you're in the line of business, this is not a personality disorder. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, it's not when you're in the line of business because you're out there to make a profit. This is business.
And you should be able to get in touch with your
You should be able to get in touch with the person. Okay. But when we're talking personal to personal, do you understand what I'm saying? It should be addressed different and looked at different when we talk about borderline personality disorder. So, yo, I am Twin from the Kultcha, and this is borderline personality disorder. Not narcissism, not any other symptom in the DSM that we're talking about. This is just 1 out of 10. So hit us back in the comments, the notification, subscribe. I'm with my one and only partner,
Alley Cat, and let me leave you with this. This whole world is perfect. It's just the people in it aren't.
Podcast.
We out.